Good afternoon. We're back, and with me now is Christy Coombs. Christy, thanks for coming on again.
Thanks for having me.
Christy, of course, is involved in the Jeff Coombs Foundation. And Christy, can you tell us what's news?
Yeah, we've been plugging along and made some really good money last year at the Jeff Coombs Memorial Road Race, the 10th annual. It was the biggest one we ever had. We had about 2,000 people there.
Wow.
Being the 10th anniversary of 9/11, people really came out to support the cause.
Sure.
So we've taken the funds that we made from that, and we've done a lot of good through the year. You know, continued helping families across Massachusetts that needed it because of death or illness or other circumstances in their family that caused them financial stress or emotional stress. And, we continue to help out the military families. We held our 5th annual holiday party for the troops families in Foxborough in December, and we had about 400 family members come out who had somebody deployed through the holidays or had somebody injured in Iraq or Afghanistan since 9/11, and also for the families of the fallen since 9/11. So we continue to do that. That's a great event that we have, and got a lot of support from people in town to help volunteer and donate to it. And then we just continued through the year with various fundraisers, and now we're gearing up for the 11th annual road race, which will be this year on September 9th.
Okay, great. And school will be in Woodsdale, starts
yes,
the same routine?
It'll be all the same. It's going to be at the Woodsdale School beginning at 9 o'clock. It's a 5K. We have a running category. Of course, we have our serious road runners that come out and really try to win the race.
Sure.
And then we have our fun runners who come out, and maybe this is the only race they do all year long, which is a real challenge for them. I did it last year for the first time ever, and I just might do it again this year. It was so much fun. Last year we had about 850 runners, and we had about 600 plus walkers register. So we have a lot of walkers come out, people who come walk with their families. We also have a stroller category. The one different thing this year is Colonial Road Runners have been so great at helping us out for the last 10 years as our timing company. They've been wonderful, and they said we actually got too big for them, and they recommended another timing company for us. So it's going to be chip timing this year, which will be far more accurate. Runners will have a chip in their bibs, and it'll record as they come across the finish line. And the company we're using this year is RaceWire, which has done a lot of work with Colonial Road Runners. So we're real pleased about that.
It's amazing that you've grown to such an extent that you have to upgrade.
It started off with a bang 10 years ago when Donna Cherry created the event as a way to bring the community together to remember 9/11 and to honor Jeff and to give our families some kind of community support. And from there, it just really took off, and we never had a lean year. It's really amazing, and it's really grown the last few years. People come from all over New England. We get people as far as Washington, D.C., the Virginia area. We've had people from Chicago. So it's quite amazing. Chief Majensky's family comes from out of state. Of course, my family has come from out of state, from as far away as California and Arizona. So it's really taken off, and it has the reputation of being one of the best organized road races that people have gone to in New England. So we're really proud about that, and Colonial Road Runners has a lot to do with that because of the way they've organized us and done our timing and such. And our committee has done a great job. We've lost a couple of committee members who have given a good 10 years and decided they wanted to go on to other things, and we've had other people jump in.
And say they replace like a cycle.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. And new blood always means new enthusiasm, so and new connections. So that's not a bad thing. We miss the people that have jumped off. The one Paul Malika he's been huge for us the last 10 years, and he works with a lot of other different organizations, and his job is more demanding now. So I think he'll still be there race day, but as far as building up to it, we've got somebody else that has come in to take his place, and big shoes to fill, but I know they'll do a great job.
Like I said, it's recycling people. And like you said, new people have new ideas, and they're willing to give more energy to it.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned how it hasn't been a lean year. And it's not only because of the event itself, but for all the causes that you've supported. And people are aware of that. And like myself, I don't participate actively, but I come down and hang out. It's a family fun day. My boys go down, and you make it a fun day, but everyone participates. So they're not necessarily running always. They're just enjoying the community.
And it started out to be that kind of day, something for the families to come out and just support the community. And in the last 5 years, we've really focused on it as a fun day. In fact, we've put it in the title now as, Walk and Family Day.
Great.
And it's just, it's fun to see the kids come out, even without their parents, the kids that live in the neighborhood. They'll ride their bikes down, and they know that there's free food to be had,
Sure.
and they'll just, go through and have a blast. And, that's fine.
And that's what it's for.
Exactly, that's what it's for. It's for the kids to realize what it's all about, and then sometimes around September 11th, I'll go into the schools and talk to them about what September 11th meant. And,
right.
Especially with the sixth graders that I talked to, they were, I don't know, babies when 9/11 happened.
Right.
Probably now they would be about 2 years old when 9/11 happened. So I go in the classrooms and I say, how many of you know who I am? And 9/10 of the class will raise their hand, and I'll look around and I don't recognize any
Sure.
of the kids. And I'll say, how do you know me? And they say, well, you put on the road race that's at our school.
Exactly.
So, it's a way of getting the story of 9/11 out there as well, and promoting the 9/11 Day of Service that we're so proud of right now. The President signed a bill 2 years ago now that 9/11 should be acknowledged as a National Day of Service. We've actually had a lot of school kids write into the President and to Massachusetts legislation asking for 9/11 to become a national holiday. And a lot of we families have said we don't want 9/11 to become a national holiday. We don't want it to become a day where people will take the day off and kids get the day off school to go shopping and have another reason for car sales
Right.
and mattress sales and things like that.
Right.
We want it to be a meaningful day. And so the President signed the legislation to make it a National Day of Service to acknowledge what 9/11 was in 2001. It's when the country came together. It became a nonpartisan government. Everybody came out to support the 9/11 families and to be there for each other. Everybody was brought to their knees in fear, and coming together as communities was one way that they got through this.
Right.
And it's another way that they got the families through it who were experiencing it on a very personal level.
Sure.
And that's why we created the Jeff Coombs Foundation, was because of the support that we received. It was a way for me to say to our kids, we need to pay this forward. And that's what we're saying to the country now is, pay it forward for anything good that anybody has ever done for you. 9/11 is an opportunity, another day of service for you to pay it forward to other people. And so even the Mass 9/11 families will come up with different service projects that we participate in on 9/11. One of them is the Mass Military Heroes Fund care package build that we have in the Rose Kennedy Greenway in Boston, where in honor of the Gold Star families in Massachusetts who've lost somebody on 9/11, in post-conflicts, post-9/11 conflicts, we go out on the Rose Kennedy Greenway and we put together 1,000 care packages that we then send to the troops.
Right.
And we ask for volunteers. We ask for businesses to be involved. Abington High School, the You Lead program, they donate items to the program. We've had a lot of people from Abington that come volunteer for the day.
Right.
So that's one of the programs that 9/11 families participate in. We volunteer at the Catholic Charities Food Pantry. We encourage families to give blood at the 9/11 blood drive that we have at Fenway Park on 9/11. So I like to tie in the Jeff Coombs Memorial Road Race with that. I tell people by coming, you're supporting a good cause, and that's a way to celebrate, a National Day of Service,
right.
and remember 9/11 in the vein that it should be remembered in, and that's by honoring the people that died and paying forward a good deed.
It's important because there's so many organizations that could use the help. And granted, it's one day, but that's one day of millions of labors
Right.
that otherwise they wouldn't have.
Absolutely. And the Jeff Coombs Foundation, really, we like to focus on Abington, but because we're supported statewide from people that get involved with the things that we do, that come to our fundraisers, we also support families across Massachusetts. We've given to people in Western Mass and in Hull and in different parts of Massachusetts, and we do support Abington programs. We just gave $7,500 in scholarships to the Abington students. 5 students received $500 scholarships and 5 students received $1,000 scholarships. Now, I didn't select them. We had about 20 students that submitted their applications, and we do it blindly because, especially this year, was really hard because these are the kids that were in my daughter's graduating class. Julia went to school with all of these kids up until the 8th grade, and then she went to private school. But so we knew all these kids
Sure.
personally, so it was really difficult. So we made sure that we didn't have a role in selecting these students. But I'm really proud of what the foundation does, And we only are able to do these things by everybody coming out and supporting our fundraisers. And I think, you know, the chief, again, has said he's called the foundation a real true charity because he knows that all the money we raise goes directly back into, a lot of it back into Abington,
Right.
and a lot of directly back to the families in Massachusetts who really need the help and can't get the help from other organizations.
And you mentioned you're able to support some of these people from Western Mass and Hull,
Right.
because there's no boundaries to families that have to deal with sudden tragedy.
Absolutely. And you know, what we're able to do is because of the organizations I'm connected with, when I get calls from families, and we work a lot with some of the social service groups across the state that find out about us and will refer people to us. And then they'll say, you know, my mother is going through cancer treatments or whatever, and we're having a really hard time, or, you know, they're having a child going through cancer treatments. I am then able to refer them to other organizations I know, such as the Joe Andruzzi Foundation, who helps families with cancer, and you know, so it really becomes a combined effort. And there are other organizations in Abington that I know help other organizations like the Hug Foundation, and we're able to work with them and you know, kind of, if I hear they're helping somebody, we're able to contribute as well. So it's really a group effort. We don't do this on our own. It's not something that I do or my children and I do by ourselves. This is really and truly a group effort, and I use the phrase all the time, it really takes a village. And you know, we're a bunch of organizations working to make our village operate more efficiently.
And a lot of these families wouldn't be able to get support without the help of yourselves and the people who contribute to your cause and put in the
Right.
valuable time to organize this.
Right.
Because if you haven't been to these family days, you wouldn't believe the people involved. Not only the race aspect of it, but then you have all the raffles going on, and you have the bouncy bounce, and you have
Right.
the ice creams and the hot dogs and
Yeah.
pizzas, and there's just so many people involved.
Yeah, and you know, I think what really speaks well for the foundation, that in spite of the lean years that a lot of businesses have felt over the last few years, they continue to give to the foundation. We send out letters around this time every year asking for sponsorships for the road race, you know, to be able to get the porta potties and buy the different things that we need to buy. And I sent letters out 2 weeks ago, and I've already gotten about 20 checks in the mail. So it's ranging from $50 to $1,000.
Every bit helps.
So it's just incredibly generous. And you know, Abington Public Schools has been great to us over the last 10 years, and they're letting us use the Woodsdale School again for the 11th year. And you know, Mike Russell comes out, and he's the janitor for the day, and he really pitches in from the day we start bringing him deliveries. They're just great, and they understand what the foundation does, and you know, they're willing to pitch in to make things happen.
Do you plan on doing the Christmas tree sale this year?
We do, we are. Actually, I got word from GKI Bethlehem Lighting that they're going to be making a large donation again. I don't know if there'll be trees this year. They said it might be smaller decorations, but they've got a warehouse full. So now we're going to be looking for another warehouse to have the sale. And again, we'll be looking for volunteers. We'll do it again in November. And, you know, the community seems to really love that because we practically give this stuff away.
Right.
And it's a way for them to decorate their homes on a
an
really
expensive
true
way.
budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Abington Food Pantry, you made all the Boston Food Pantry, but you do some work with them as well, I understand. To
Well,
donate.
the foundation donates
Right.
to the Abington Food Pantry. And for the road race, we have people bring canned food, and they'll get, you know, 3 raffle tickets. So we'll likely be doing that again this year. You know, that's something that's near and dear to me. I'm on the board of the St. Vincent de Paul,
Okay.
and I don't get to help out down there as much as I'd like to because of my schedule. But you know, I do what I can, and by having the foundation contribute in whatever way we can, that's important to me.
We had Bob McCabe on recently and talked about the food pantry. And one of our goals is to actually go down maybe on a Monday morning and show how they operate, how they
Right.
stock and go through the.
You know, I wrote an article about them for one of the newspapers about 5 years ago, and I was amazed at the work that they do. And I've seen how other food pantries operate, and Abington's is absolutely top-notch. And you know, that's totally to the credit of the people that are down there on a regular basis making things happen. And the people in Abington who need those services, they're lucky to have the food pantry because you know, they're one of a kind.
Well, any other things we can close up with? I know September 9th is
Right.
going to be,
The
no,
big
that'll
road
also
race.
be, 9/11 will actually be the service day, correct? Or is it-
The day of service will be on September 11th.
Okay.
And they can watch the papers for what's going on. They can also, you know, inbox me for information on on the care package drive. The road race is September 9th at the Woodsdale School. These green flyers will be going in the mail very shortly, and they will also be able to get them this Saturday. We're going to be participating in Abington's 300th birthday celebration this Saturday. We'll be selling slushes and candy. We'll have the brochures out so they can pick them up there. They'll be all in various areas around town, the town hall, the library, various merchants around town. And they can also always go to the website, jeffcoombsfund.org. They can register on racewire.com and also on coolrunning.com. And so there's all kinds of ways that they can get involved and find out how to register.
I think we have the website, jeffcoombsfoundation.org.
jeffcoombsfund.org.
I'm sorry, jeffcoombsfund.org. If we could put that up on the screen just in case.
And one different thing that we're doing this year that we also did last year is we have a section in the brochure for a sponsor sheet. It's all it's totally voluntary. It's not required to participate. But you know, if you have friends or family that can't make it and still would like to contribute, you just write their name down, collect the money from them, and bring it down with you on registration day. And you know, they can. That's a little extra way for us to make some money.
Right.
This year, registration is $20 for adults, $15 for students, and $5 for children under 12. And as always, they'll get the coveted road race T-shirt with the logo on the back that you see all over town. I believe this year for participants, it's going to be bright orange, and the staff, the 100 volunteers, will be wearing a bright green like this. So yeah, you know, it's a great event. We love putting it together. We love seeing the town come out and support. I think besides, or maybe along with the police department's fishing derby,
right,
it's the largest event the town has every year.
it.
And we know people love it because each year when I say we're not sure if we're going to have it next year, especially last year after 10, you know, we kind of surveyed the crowd.
Discussion, right.
Yeah, we surveyed the crowd and said, do you want it back? And everybody really wanted it back.
Resounding
so
yes,
we're
obviously.
coming back for the 11th year, and I hope the support will be there.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
Christy, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us,
Thanks for
Bob.
coming on. Our next guest will be Rosie Walls to talk about the 300th anniversary family fair. Yep. So thank you, and just give us a minute. We'll be right back. We're back, and with Around the Old Town, with me is Rosie Walls. Thank you very much, Rosie, for coming in.
A pleasure to be here.
Rosie's going to talk about the 300th anniversary of the town of Abington, and it's a family fair. Give us the scoop.
Yes, it's a field day with a children's parade, fireworks. We have music, there's food, games, everything. It's going to be a fun day. The kickoff is at 2 o'clock. The gates are going to open. And there's registration for the children's costume parade.
Okay.
And that's going to start at 3 o'clock.
Where is this? Is this at the Frollo?
This is at the Frollo
Okay.
School. And
Okay.
the games, on the lawn games, and the music is all on Memorial Field.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
And there are 4 categories for the parade,
Okay.
the costume parade.
Yep.
I want to make sure I
Please,
get this
let's list
right.
them, right.
Historic and patriotic is one of them. And Tri-Town Spirit. We have Fun and Fantasy and the Horribles.
Oh.
And Tracy Becker and Ann Parks, they spearheaded this parade, and word has gotten out to the Tri-Town area. And if you have friends or cousins that live in East Bridgewater or Weymouth, they can be in the parade
invited.
too. It's
Great.
not just for Abington.
We're inclusive. We're all inclusive.
Right, we certainly are. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And when the gates open, admission is free. The only thing you have to pay for, if you want to support the community vendors who have food there, spend money there. And there's only one other event, which is the dunk tank. If you would like to dunk a celebrity, we're going to have a small fee for each pitch.
That's important.
Which would
I'm not
be
a
good.
celebrity, but I'd be willing to take a dunk if you'd like. I'm
Would
sure
you?
there's people that would pay to dunk me.
We need, all righty.
That's the
I
deal.
will tell Sean Riley
Oh, he'll probably
that you
pay
would
to,
like,
he'll probably pay to
you
dunk
would
me.
like to be
I would certainly volunteer
a
for
willing
that role,
target.
for one
so
of them.
that would be great.
That's great, yes.
All righty. So there's going to be free ice cream for all the participants in
the
the
parade.
parade. And we'll have, they're going to give ribbons out.
Nice.
for the different categories
Sure.
and the different age groups.
And what are the age
in
groups?
the parade? The age groups, I believe, are like there's a toddler stroller, the young ones,
Young
very
ones,
young
right.
ones, and then like 4 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to. There's
Oh, you've
quite a
many-
few.
right,
I
obviously,
think there
yeah.
are 4 age categories. The only stipulation is no pets
Okay.
and no bikes, but everything else goes.
Right. Hear that? No
So
pets, no
that's-
bikes.
Right, but lots of kids. There's going to be music all day. There's going to be the DJ, Drew Panico,
Oh, great. Yeah.
the South
Abington
Shore,
Kid.
yep, Men of Harmony,
Okay.
the community band, concert, and Dale and the Duds. So
Great. They'll
that's
really
some
liven the party
music.
up.
They really will. So music's going to be going on all day. And then we're going to have the lawn games, the field day games, which are like the sack race. And by the way, we separated the younger kids, like pre-K and K children are having their lawn games in one area. And then the elementary are going to have their lawn games,
Wise
in
move.
another.
You don't want those
So-
older kids running those little ones over.
and even in the sack race, we have these little sacks that Rita Wing has from a preschool, and the kids step in the sacks, and they have little anchor for their legs and bags. That's like
Oh,
a
that's
bag with
tremendous.
handles.
Right.
So it's a very cool way
I
for the
bet.
young kids to do the sack race. There's going to be a beanbag toss for the little kids, and we have a frame, and they toss the beanbag into the
It points
holes
or
in the
something,
frame.
yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be a balloon walk. So
Oh.
we're going to have balloons, and they're going to put them between their knees and they
Right.
try to walk
Right,
with the
get to the
balloon.
finish line, yeah.
So that would be fun.
Sure.
And the old-fashioned potato race. You put the potato on the spoon,
Right.
and you have to run. Well, we're going to have a little obstacle course. There's going to be, you'll have to jump over a little river that we're going to paint.
That's cool.
Make
Right.
it interesting.
Make it a little more interesting, sure.
Right, and then we have a shoebox race where you just put your feet in the shoe boxes and you run, and it's kind of fun.
Right.
That's a fun thing too. We'll have a hula hoop contest. I got these little hoops. They're adorable. It's not the big giant ones,
Right.
but for the little kids,
Sure.
we'll have that. And there's going to be a parachute. And the
oh,
parachute
yes,
when you
yes,
jump
I've
in
seen
the
that at the
yep, they
preschool,
do
the
that.
school,
That's
yes.
fun, yeah. And we'll have a bubble table, and the kids, I'll have the bubble juice and
Okay.
different variety of
Oh, I
wands,
see.
and
Right,
they'll
and
be
they make
able to
bubbles.
make
They
all
create
these
their own,
big
right.
bubbles, right?
Great.
Now the older kids, we're going to have a lawn twister, where you actually paint the different colors on
Onto
the
the lawn.
lawn, and then we'll spin the wheel,
Right.
and you shout out
Right
the
hand
color
red
and the
and-
right,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah. And a sack race, which we got potato sacks from the Lions Club, which we thank them for that. And then we have something, and they can all practice this, it's called hoop escape. You put a hula hoop down, and the kids have to try to get it over their head without using their hands.
That'd be difficult.
So that would
Like
be
you said,
fun. I
start
hope they'll
practicing
start
now.
practicing now. The old-fashioned wheelbarrow race, and a shoebox race for this age children too,
Okay.
and something called a day at the beach. A day at the beach race is every children has a beach bag, and inside the beach bag is a shirt, sunglasses, a hat, and a book. So they start the race by getting the shirt. They have to put the shirt, and it's a t-shirt, and then they take the bag and they race to the finish line. They put on the hat, they put on the glasses, and they have to read for 3 seconds. Then they take it all off,
Put it
they
back
put
in
it
the
in the
bag.
bag, and then they race back to the starting
like
line.
that.
So that's kind of a fun
Sure.
thing to do. It's just different. And we have a larger parachute for
For the
the
older kids.
elementary kids.
Yeah.
Right. And in addition to all that, there are going to be 2 bouncy houses, one for the under 6 and one for the 6 and over.
Wise move.
There's going to be an inflatable obstacle course.
Wow.
A
Well, not
huge
for me
one.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be good. And in more, they're going to have a double slide.
Oh, I know
So a
what you mean.
double
Yes,
slide.
right.
So that'll be fun too.
Right.
And then we have the dunk tank. And that's not enough. We have a rock wall for the kids.
Oh, gee.
It's a rock
That's very
climbing
good.
wall.
Right. That'll
So-
be very popular, I'm sure.
Yeah, so won't that be fun? And we also have some kids from high schools, from students, are going to be doing some face painting.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have that little area too.
Right.
So that's the games. And the games are all free, as I said,
Right.
which is great. And then when the games are probably going to go from 3:30 to like 8:30, so they're going to be going all day. But we're going to stop at about 6:30, and we're going to call everybody over to the stage. And we're going to announce the winners to that 30 for the 300th thing. And that was the children's participation in the commemorative book.
Excellent.
And that was Eileen Walls' brainstorm. And we said, let's get the kids to have some input into the commemorative book, which we're working on. Next day, she came up with
I'm not surprised.
30 for the 300th.
Right.
There it was, all laid out. So children from the 3 towns, the tri-towns, Abington, Whitman, and Rockland, were asked to, you could provide a photo, a drawing, or an illustration, write a poem, anything about Old Abington, and the kids came up with some really beautiful products.
Oh, great.
Unbelievable. As a matter of fact, Irene Nicholson, who's a kind of a designer in town, she put all of the 30 pieces on a banner in color, which is going to be on display at the field.
Excellent.
It's just magnificent. The kids came up with some beautiful
They're
pieces.
creative. A lot of these kids can be very creative.
They really are. They're wonderful. So we'll stop for a few minutes to do that and recognize the 30 children that were the winners. So that's going to be...
And will the mayor of Abington be there?
The mayor will definitely be there. Absolutely.
Because he's in part of that music quartet, I believe.
Well, actually he is.
Yes.
Yeah, the South Shore Manahominey. And you know what I forgot to mention? There's another group. The women, the Island Grove Chorus.
Oh, excellent.
The, chapter, the Sweet Adeline
Right,
chapter.
Sweet Adeline, right.
Yeah, so they're going to be there too. I'm glad you said that, because that jogged my memory.
Sure. We can't remember everything.
Well, I tried to.
Yes.
I tried to.
I know you were wise and wrote most of them down.
Yeah, I know it. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget anything.
And there's no cost, as you said.
There is no cost unless you want to dunk Bob to me.
Please, that's a great
Get
cause.
'em
Let's
wet.
raise some money to pay for this. Right.
Which
And then,
is great. And the community food. We have
Right.
lots of food. And I wrote that down, made sure that I didn't miss anything, because
Yes.
there's lots of food. And they're the community vendors, so you're donating to,
You keep the money
charity.
in town. Right, exactly.
Yeah, now the boosters are going to have the hamburgers and the hot dogs and candy and drinks.
Okay.
The Abington Education Foundation, they're going to have fried dough. This will all be on the infield, with first base, second base, third base.
Okay.
And that's where they're all going to be.
Okay.
And Abington girls softball, chicken fingers, French fries, and popcorn.
Abington Girls Softball, the high school or the league?
I think it's the
youth league,
I think
probably?
it's the youth
That would
league.
make sense.
Yeah, the Abington Girls Softball League. But
Just so you
wow,
know,
isn't
though,
that something, huh?
the high school
Easton
girls,
Mass
right.
champs, right?
I want to make sure our viewers saw that.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Hopefully they're going to be there on the stage, that we can
Well, they deserve it.
recognize them, the team that did so well.
They really excelled.
Oh, they really did. But I know a lot of them have graduation parties to attend,
Sure.
so we might not get a full compliment, but they've been invited to come down. So I
Great.
hope everybody cheers them on. Now, the Lions Club is having their famous strawberry shortcake. How good is that? And the Abington Rotary, the sausage, peppers, and onions. The Coombs Foundation are going to have their candy and the slushies.
Right.
Domino's Pizza will be there. And the Friends of the Abington Seniors are going to have drinks, and they're going to sell little koozies. What a good idea, huh?
Great idea. A
They
day
have
like
that
that.
to be?
Right,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be great weather.
Yeah, absolutely. Friends of Island Grove are going to have cotton candy. And Morel's Country Kitchen, the barbecued chicken, barbecued beef ribs, potato salad, and coleslaw. What more could you
That's the
want?
fear. That's the kind of place I like.
That's just absolutely. It's going to be a fabulous family, fun, free day. It's
Exactly.
going to be great.
And if people want, they can bring their own food and beverages.
Absolutely. They can come down, they can bring their own picnic, bring a blanket, bring a chair. Just they're saying don't bring a tent.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah,
but we
that's not
will have
practical.
a large tent. If it's a hot day, a large tent's going to be provided. There'll be tables and chairs if you want to get out of the sun.
Right.
So
And
that's
please make
gonna
sure you're
be there.
hydrated, because I know Wednesday and Thursday it's going to be most humid in the
Ooh.
90s.
Right.
And I'm sure it's by Saturday the effect won't be fully gone. So be
Yeah.
prepared, and we don't want to have
Right.
the firefighters have to work overtime trying to
No.
resuscitate people.
But they are going to be there if we
Yes.
need them. That's for sure.
They always are.
Right, they are.
And this all
So-
starts, the Oh, they open the gates at 3?
Open the gates at 2.
2, excuse me, okay.
Parade's at 3.
Parade's at 3.
Yep, and the parade's going to start in the front of the Frollo. It's going to come down Ralph Hamlin Lane. Is that Ralph
That's
Hamlin
Ralph
Lane?
Hamlin,
Yep,
yes.
down into the
towards
gates
Beaverbrook.
and down around to the stage.
And where will the
they're
stage
gonna
be?
The stage is going to be on, I believe, on the football field in front of the, like the 50-yard line,
Oh,
maybe?
right, so in the middle of the field,
Yeah,
kind of.
in the middle of
yeah.
the field.
And as you
Probably
said-
down that way, maybe the 40-yard line.
Right, but
fourth
further
side.
down that end.
Right.
And the vendors,
And
like you said,
vendors
will be on the
in the
infield.
baseball field and the infield, yeah.
And then all the events will be to the sides.
Right.
And that's great
Right.
that you did separate, because I know from just being around the schools, you get the 5 and 6-year-olds dealing with the 12 and the 9 and 10-year-olds. It's inevitable there'll be clashes, so
Right, there will be.
you obviously thought this out.
So we have something for everyone here.
Now, there must be a
Which is
number of
good.
volunteers, and I know you can't thank them all.
Tremendous amount of volunteers, but who should get a lot of credit is Sean Riley, who was the chairman of the whole. He's the whole picture. I know he
Right.
doesn't probably want me to say this, but he deserves a lot of credit.
He truly does.
Endless details between having a generator, having lights and electricity, and making sure there's food there, the safety, contacting the police and the fire. Endless details. And if he didn't think of it, Jan Prowl did. So
Right, I was just gonna
between the
say,
two
Jan
of them,
does her part, yes.
she does details. And with the field game, with the parade, there's a bunch of people volunteering at the parades, and then they're going to come down and help out
They
with the
pitch in
games.
here
so
and then run over there.
They really are. So it's, it's a
it's a
lot
community
of, as you
effort.
say, community
Right.
effort. Definitely the great one. So
And I'll tell you, it's been a tremendous year. The trivia night was a great success, I thought.
Wonderful.
The mayor,
the mayor. How about the
Competition.
gala? That was
Right,
wonderful.
the gala, right.
That was wonderful. A wonderful day. The parade. Oh my gosh.
I've always said, I
how
think
was
Mr. Billy has a
that?
direct line to the Lord,
Yeah.
because the weather has always been phenomenal.
It has, yeah. No, lucky, yeah. And then looking into the future, what I think is going to be very interesting and fun is the Fireman's Muster in August.
Yeah, August, right.
And then the living encampment, the Civil War living encampment at the Grove in the fall.
Okay,
in
is that a
September.
date in September? Okay.
Yeah, and the rededication of the arch and the bridge.
Oh, nice. And when was that? Do you know?
That's,
Do you have a
that's
specific
like
date?
the September.
Late-
Yes, it's the 21st,
Okay, around
22nd,
that
that,
time.
that
That
weekend.
weekend?
In there, and they're going to be camping out for the whole weekend. So that's going to be a
And
sight
that people
to
can
see.
just go and visit and see how
Absolutely.
they live then?
Yep.
Oh, that is a
Yep.
great deal to see.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, the Civil War encampment group, they were at the end of the parade.
Oh, great.
that you
This most
saw.
recently, right.
The parade that we just saw,
Right.
the 300th anniversary parade on the horses and all dressed in period costume.
That's
So
the group.
That's the group. And they're trying to make it even more people from Western Mass, and because there are these encampment actors everywhere
Oh, I'm
in the
sure.
Massachusetts, so they're going to try to get a big group over there.
Oh, that'd
so
be
that's
great.
going to be very interesting.
The kids, I think, really enjoy it. I enjoy history, and I'm not that
I
familiar
do
with
too.
it. But I'm sure that'll
yeah.
be a great success.
It really will be. So that's going to be good.
Well,
yeah.
again, 2 o'clock, the gates open.
Gates open at 2.
And 3
we'll
o'clock
be
the
ready
parade, and
for
you can
everybody.
register. And registration
Right.
is out on
Registration
Washington
is
Street, or
right in front of the Frollo.
in front of the Frollo.
Yep.
And
Right.
come out and dress in your costumes, dress in your horrible costume, dress in your period costume. And it's June 23rd,
This Saturday.
this Saturday.
June 23rd. Right.
And we don't expect any rain, so please
Nope.
be hydrated and
Right.
and enjoy yourselves, and no smoking. Let's try to keep this safe.
None of that.
Just while I have you quickly, so
how
please.
can I forget the fabulous finale?
Oh, the fireworks.
Fireworks are going to be tremendous.
Yes. I didn't think of that either.
I heard they're going to be unbelievable. And another important thing that I forgot to mention is if any senior citizens need close parking, they can go to the town hall and get a parking permit.
Oh, great.
And that will allow them to park in the Beaverbrook Elementary
School lot there.
that parking lot
Right.
there that they have.
Great idea. Yeah, because
So,
it's going to be warm, and you
we
don't want to
tried
have
to think
people
of
traveling
everything.
that far walking. Yeah.
Right, and they'll be like the golf carts, so if anyone needs a ride to the field, they
Great.
can pick them up at the parking lot and
Escort them
drive
over.
them. I'm going to have
Oh, that's
golf
great.
carts and the gators and all those things available,
Great idea.
right?
Obviously,
Everything.
Sean and Jan have thought this out to
That's
the
everything.
minutest detail.
Yeah, even the, and if you need any help, volunteers
This is the volunteer
will
shirt.
be working in these big yellow shirts.
So if you need help,
If
go
you
to
need
someone
help,
with the yellow
go
shirt.
to a yellow
on,
shirt.
Please. Because they'll have the
The
information, and if
volunteers.
not, they'll find out the information
That's
for you.
right.
Well, I
That's
can't thank you
great.
enough. That's great information. I hope everyone comes out and enjoys themselves. But before you leave, any news? Oh, you're going to say something?
Yes, there's something else. I'm forgetting a lot today.
That's all right.
Well, there's some more games.
Oh.
Because next to the lawn games, we're going to have about 7 or 8 bago sets up. The
I don't know what that
cornhole.
is.
It's a beanbag game.
Okay.
It's really fun. And so we'll have a frisbee field, and we're going to have a wiffle ball field.
Oh.
And a kickball field.
Oh, my goodness.
So
that-
if you want to
be
join in
really
those
active.
kinds of things, you
Right.
know, go over there, have a pickup game with your friends.
Right.
It's going to be available, and we're also going to have 2 of the small soccer goals. So if you
Okay,
want to
so
practice your
practice the
soccer
kicking,
kicking or
right.
practice being
Saving,
goalie,
right.
then you'll have that. Now I think that might be it.
Well, that's certainly plenty to do. So please, bring your children down. It's family-oriented. The cost is nothing unless you want to dunk myself and other people that will be available. You can buy some food from the vendors. You're welcome to bring your own food. But just make a fun day and just be respectful of others that are there. And we'll have a great time and a great way to celebrate the 300th anniversary of the town.
Fabulous family day.
Well, I
It'd be
thank you
great.
very much for all you did in the committee, and I know there are too many people to mention by name, but it's just, everyone has worked so hard for this, and I know it will be a great success. Before you leave, any news on the library? I know you're the head of the Friends of the Library.
Well, the library, we had a wonderful book sale.
Right,
We were kind
election
of
day.
leery about the book sale in the spring because, you know, with the age of the e-books,
Right,
we were wondering, will we get the donations and will people buy books? And they do.
great.
They
I'm glad
did.
to hear that. I'm an avid
So
reader.
that's our
and-
huge fundraiser for that. And if you are an e-book reader, you can access the books using your library card.
Okay.
You know, so that's really good
Through,
too. And
through
from
the
the
Old Colony
library.
Library Network, through
Yeah.
Abington Library.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'll have to have you
So
on
that's
to
good to
get
know.
into some detail about
Right.
that.
I'd be happy to do that.
I appreciate that, because that's a great
Right.
thing. Reading is my biggest thing in the world, and we have to try to get more people involved. And if it's not doing it by handheld, then do it with the computer.
However you do it.
Right, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Right, just read.
Right.
Well, again, Rosie, thank you very much for all
You're
you've done.
welcome,
It's a
Bob.
great event, and
be
please look
fun.
forward to seeing you folks from 2 o'clock on. And the fireworks will probably go off 10 o'clock-ish,
Well,
9:30.
probably, we're thinking around 9:15, 9:30,
okay.
but with this being the longest days of the year here,
Sure.
it's probably going to be closer to 9:30. But they're saying, you know, 30, 40 minutes fireworks, and
Well, that's
not
a long
like,
time.
you know, light one, then wait 5 minutes. They're going off.
They're major leaguers.
This is, it really is, so it
that's
should
a
be
fair-
wonderful.
Well, we look forward to it.
Very good.
Thank you very much, and that'll do it for this session. Please remember the Abington Food Pantry. If you have any money or extra food you can donate, they do a great deal for our community. And that's it for this session of Around the Old Town. Excellent.
Very
Good job.
good.
It's a good thing you wrote them down, because I wouldn't have remembered 10
How
of
am I
them.
going to
never mind.
remember all this?